Hello and welcome to lesson 4 of the First Steps tutor book. In this lesson you will learn about playing bass clef and also learning about playing with your left hand. You'll be learning to play the bass clef notes C to G. So the lesson begins by showing you the bass clef. So the bass clef is also known as the F clef because it has two little dots on it, and these two little dots show you exactly where the F line is on the stave. So your first task is a writing task where you can practice writing some of the bass clef notes. Now when you write this, just be very careful that you seat the dots exactly in the right place. The first note that you will learn in the bass clef is your C note. Now it's slightly different to the C note that you would play in your right hand in the treble clef, because the C note with your right hand in the treble clef you use your finger 1, but in the bass clef you use your finger 5. Now the best way to find where the C note is to do the following. Just put your hand on where you normally play the 5 notes of the right hand. Then go down to find the next 2 set of black notes, and then right next to that note is the C note, and that is where you will play the 5 notes in the left hand. So at first the book explains about the C note and the D note. You have the opportunity to practice writing the C notes and also the D notes, and then the book goes into a practical practice task and playing your first piece, which is, can you play left hand C and D? I will now demonstrate this piece to you. So when you have mastered playing the C and the D notes, you can then move on and try the E note. Again, there's an example of the E note shown, and then the opportunity for you to practice writing that note on the stave. Then there is a piece of music which is, can you play left hand C, D and E? So by adding the E note to the notes you've already learnt, you've just got to remember that you use your 3rd finger of your left hand to play the E note. And here's an example of the piece. Then we move on to the bass clef F note. Again, you have the opportunity to write the note and see where it is on the stave, and you will notice that this is the note which is named after the clef, where you can see the 2 little dots showing exactly where the F note is. You play the F note with finger 2, and this is shown in the book as well. So the practical task for this one is, can you play left hand C, D, E and F? Over the page again to the last note for this lesson, which is the bass clef G note. You play the G note with your thumb, you practice writing the note again, and then you practice trying to play can you play left hand? C, D, E, F and G. Finally, the lesson completes by you trying two pieces written in the bass clef. The first one is My House and the second one is Lightly Row. So I'll play both of these pieces to you now. First of all, My House. And then moving on to the longest piece that you've played so far, which is Lightly Row. 3 lines long, this one. And that completes this lesson.